Comes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Hello, everybody, and welcome yet again to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. You're finding me on the air for the first time. You're going to hear me Mondays through Fridays here on 1250 WHNZ at 8 a.m. as I'm here to promote the entrepreneurial spirit and talk up the business owners of the Tampa Bay community. I want to take a moment to invite any and all entrepreneurs out there in our area. Please reach out to me. I'm promoting businesses. There's no charge. Come on in, talk to me. Shoot me a quick email, jamie@tampabayradio.com. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'm really excited about the growth that's going on in the community, and there's just some amazing business owners out in our community today, and so I'm taking, a part of my day to promote the entrepreneurial spirit, as that's something that I hold near and dear to my heart. I myself, a entrepreneur, have been in real estate 7+ years, focusing on the sale of bank-owned properties. Sold about 1,300 properties, and you can find all of my listings over at the website as well, tampabayradio.com, as well as many of my pre-listed properties. And there's a pre-list property link on the main page. I and my group work with about 45 different banks and asset management companies, so we're a great resource for investment properties and even properties that you're looking to move into as a first-time buyer. Please reach out to me for that as well. Shoot me an email, again, jamie@tampabayradio.com. And also you can catch past shows of That Business Show and also past shows of my real estate show, which went off air last week, which aired Mondays at noon, but I am now daily at 8 a.m. here on That Business Show. But you can catch past shows of the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show on tampabayradio.com as well. Got a great guest in studio today. Dr. Jamie Calaga is an entrepreneur and certified life coach and motivational speaker. She is the author of the upcoming book, The Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment, Step-by-Step Strategies to Create Work-Life Balance, which is to be published in March of this year. She is the inspirational founder of the nationally known Superwoman Workshops, and Dr. Calaga has been featured internationally for her expertise. She is the owner of Two Maids and a Mop in Tampa, which is the fastest growing cleaning company in America, according to Incorporated 5000. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's try not to confuse our names here if somebody else chimes in here, but yeah, it's always interesting when I have another Jamie sitting across from me, especially if she's, of the opposite sex, so that's always a little bit of a confusing
I'll
thing.
be Jamie with the I, you be Jamie with the M.
Interestingly enough, I dated a Jamie in high school, and we always used to joke, if we end up getting married, we're going to have the same name, and that's really going to create a lot of confusion. So let's talk about your company, Two Maids and a Mop. I mean, fastest growing cleaning company in America right now.
Yes.
Let's talk about the story behind that.
Okay, so as you know, I'm a life coach and a therapist, and so I had an opportunity to look at a side business for college hunks hauling junk and moving. So the guys let me come in, and they had college foxes packing boxes. Yes.
I never heard that one.
Yes, I said it. So I looked at this packing boxes, and I said, after looking at it for a while, I said, why don't we think outside of the box, literally packing boxes, and why don't we open a cleaning company? Cleaning complements junk removal and moving. And they said, well, this is great. We'll give you a little money to start it up, but we don't have time for it. Can you take it over? And I took on every opportunity that ever came my way. I said, okay, yeah. So suddenly, out of nowhere, I own this cleaning company. I have no policies. I have no procedures. I know nothing about cleaning. So I say, you know what? Let's go buy a broom. Let's go buy a mop. You need a vacuum. You need some rags. Okay, sounds good. Let's do this. Now I need a girl that is on summer break that's willing to clean. And that's exactly how I got started. Now, the College Foxes packing boxes, we wanted to keep the college theme, so we turned it into College Foxes Cleaning. Well, at all hours of the night, I was getting calls for my nude maid service. Okay. I don't have a nude maid service. I was like laying in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is Jamie. They wanted my nude maid service. I don't have it. Anyone out there looking to become an entrepreneur, there's a market for nude maid service, just in case you're wondering. So anyways, very quickly on the roller coaster, I learned I need to change the name of my company. So instantly, we changed it to Collegiate Cleaning, and I ran with it for a while, and I realized that there is a lot more to just getting a broom and a mop to running a business. I found myself every day working in the business and not on the business. And because of this, I put myself in my own rat race, my own Ferris wheel that I was just living, trying to survive day to day. So I needed more support. I needed more help. So I called up my husband, who works at the federal government at this time. And I said, you need to quit your job. And you need to come join me on this roller coaster. And after he picked himself up off the floor, because we have two children, and so we lost all of our benefits, our income, and we took the leap of faith and we rode the roller coaster together.
Yeah, and I got to say, I mean, starting a cleaning company, I mean, that's obviously extremely difficult because it's so easy to enter that space. I mean, anybody with a broom and a mop, so to speak, can become a cleaning company. So how did you differentiate yourself within that space?
So initially, I didn't. Well, first off, people asked me why I would even pick a cleaning company, and I think as an entrepreneur, it's very important to understand your why you're doing something. And so to this day, my passion is not cleaning, but what my passion is knowing that families have that work-life balance and the ability to go do something on the weekend instead of sit home and clean their houses. And they do. I know that sounds minuscule in the big scheme of things, but so many moms, so many dads stay home, tidy, do the laundry, do the grocery shopping. You're on the rat race of the weekend, and then you wake up and it's Monday and you're already exhausted. You had no time with the kids. You had no time with your spouse. So I know when we go into these homes and we clean, these people have the availability to have more time with their families. And that's what I do in coaching. I teach work-life balance. So it's it's a cycle of being able to balance. So that's my passion. So anyone out there, make sure you know your why along the way. So how do we differentiate? Initially, we didn't. But what I can tell you is, and that's what ended up spiraling me down. I got to the point where I said, I need something bigger. I need something better. And I had an opportunity to merge with Two Maids and a Mop. Again, we're the fastest growing cleaning company in America, and I had this opportunity. But at the same time, I said, collegiate cleaning is my baby. I've worked for 3 years. I don't want to give this up, I don't, and so many people, I think, can relate to that. You work for what you're growing, but there does come a time when you have to part with it in some certain situations to make a good business decision. And I am a good businesswoman, but it took a lot of confidence to be able to say that and work up to that. And then I had the opportunity to take over Two Maids and a Mop, and I did, and we merged, and I made that good business decision. Your ego is not your amigo, everybody out there, right? So I put my ego aside. I made a great business decision, and we're very successful now. January was our first year.
I was going to say, when did you start the company? You said about just 1 year? And
Yeah, we are blowing revenue points out of the water. I'm so excited, but we stick to the systems and the policy, which is something that I wasn't able to do with collegiate cleaning. There were no systems, there were no policy. I was surviving day to day, and you cannot do that for a successful business. You can't just be living in crisis and survival mode every day.
And what were you doing before the Two Maids and a Mop? You were a speaker as well, correct?
Yeah.
Was that your pre-life before the Maids and a Mop? Well, of course, you're still doing that today, though, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I had the coaching business, which I still do that part-time on the side. And then I wrote a book, so I got a lot of speaking gigs out of that. And but all of this took getting over fear. I think a lot of people have fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. That's what I tell people.
Yep.
It's your perception of the world. And you have the availability to change your perception at any time. And that's what I did.
Yeah, I don't want to stress what you just said. Fear is an acronym, false evidence appearing real. And what I say to people all the time with a great idea is fear is going to be your greatest expense you ever incur in your life, because that fear is going to hold you back from making money. My fear that held me into my industry job for 6 years, where I was making $50,000 a year, in industry, but I knew that I had much more to offer. And then finally I decided to step out of the box, go back to school, get a real estate license, and get into the real estate space. 7 years later, I've grown to be a top 10 Coldwell Banker agent, and now I'm on the radio. And so everybody has those same talents. I'm not unique. I'm not the sharpest knife in the box either, but I was willing to, take that risk. And so many people out there probably have a lot better support systems than I did to get that done. And so, I can't understate, understate, the importance of, not acting on your fear.
Yeah, and people will literally stay in the corporate world dreading each and every day, waking up, not finding passion, not finding fulfillment because of the fear. And I think I think fear is its own like entity. It's great at making excuses, but really it boils down a lot of times to a lack of confidence. That confidence in how would I make the money? Well, it's all dependent on me, and I mean, that is a lot of responsibility, but I think if you put your mind to it and you have a plan and you are setting what I call SMART goals, they're very specific and measurable goals, you truly can achieve anything that you want to achieve. And I didn't come from some massive multi-million-dollar family that gave me everything. I can genuinely say that because I worked for everything, and you can do that.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Now, what services does Two Maids and a Mop offer? Are there different levels of cleaning services that are offered? Or take me just briefly through how the company is set up if we contact you for that.
Okay, absolutely. First and foremost, it's important to know that you asked me what our niche was, how we were different. When we were collegiate cleaning, we didn't have that niche, but now at Two Maids we do. We have what's called a pay-for-performance model. So essentially we send 2 crew members in to come clean your home, and they clean, they leave, we send you a survey. You rate your satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10, and your satisfaction determines their pay. So, right? So it really helps avoid with complacency. They have skin in the game. We want them to be business owners too, and putting a system like that in place makes them more accountable and like business owners. So we have a great staff. But the different services that we offer move-in, move-out cleans, deep cleans. That's going to be like your spring cleaning. Mm-hmm. And then our bread and butter is our reoccurring services, and that's our weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly cleanings.
Oh, very nice. So, and what's the website for Two Maids and a Mop?
Two Maids Tampa.
Two Maids Tampa.
TwoMaidsTampa.com.
And they just reach out when you have a full staff there to take phone calls. What's the business hours, I guess?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can call at any time. A lot of the calls end up actually being forwarded, as most of you entrepreneurs know out there. You don't ever want to miss a call. So yeah, you can call the number that's on the website, and then if it goes, it'll be forwarded over to my husband's cell phone. So that's how we. That's how we live our roller coaster.
All right. Very nice. Well, we've got to take a quick break here, but coming back from the break, I'm going to talk more with Dr. Jamie Kalaga about her book, which is Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment. And if you're just tuning in, you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear-to-close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. iMortgage Tampa appreciates and supports all veterans and their families. And as a thank you for your service, they have some unique products specifically for veterans. These programs include 100% cash-out loans, renovation loans, and also a VA interest rate reduction loan. Please call them today at 813-523-4908. Again, that's 813-523-4908. Or online, search for iMortgage Tampa. iMortgage NMLS 174457. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. Programs and eligibility subject to programs and guidelines.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Meloni of the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING.
In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566.
This report is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. On February 14th, don't just give roses, give the gift of life. Sign up to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor, and be sure to tell your loved ones of your decision so they can support your wishes. Learn more. Sign up online at organdonor.gov.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center, westbound Leroy Selman Expressway from I-75 to past the 78th Street Toll Plaza. An accident off to the side, 3 vehicles involved in this accident. You may want to use the upper deck or Adamo Drive as an alternate. Also southbound along the Veterans Expressway, very slow traffic this morning from Dale Mabry Highway to Waters Avenue due to an earlier wreck near Linebaugh Avenue. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Mostly cloudy for the day, a 20% chance of rain with a high of 71. Then tonight, the clouds move in. The rain chances go up 100% chance after midnight with a low of 60. Tomorrow, the skies will start to clear out in the afternoon. We'll see a high of 67.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in here to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Take a moment to direct you over to my website, tampabayradio.com, where you can catch all the past shows of That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, and also catch all of my property listings, as I am a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker. Take a moment to preview the guests we got coming in tomorrow. We got Chandala Fernando. He is a bank turnaround specialist and basically an expert at resolving the debt of foreign countries. He's worked with the governments of Sri Lanka and also Margaret Thatcher's office years ago over in Britain. And he's also the author of Flying Low, Saving Aviation Banking One Loan at a Time. So looking forward to a great conversation with him tomorrow as well. Currently in studio, we're talking with Dr. Jamie Kalaga, and we're going to go over to talk about her book, which is The Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment. So, Jamie, tell us a little bit more about the background for this book.
So I guess it was sort of my therapy, because when I was switching over from collegiate cleaning to two maids, and in between that merge, I needed to write. I needed to get out. My emotions needed to balance. I was all over the place, and so I just started writing, and I said, hey, I think there's other people out there that might benefit from these words that are going through a similar situation. Maybe you don't know how to say no to things, which was what I was doing. I was taking on everything too much, and everyone knows when you're spread too thin, you're good at nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was doing. And I was saying yes to things and backing down, and that's people work really hard for their credibility. I know that I had to work hard for my credibility. So when I started saying yes to everything in the community and then taking my yeses back and not coming through, I knew I was sabotaging my credibility.
Now let's preface that though first. You have a PhD in what is sociology or
yep, counseling psychology.
Counseling psychology. Okay. Yeah. So now did you take your education all the way through college, or did you go back to school for this, or what's the story behind that?
So I did my bachelor's degree, went straight into my master's degree, and then while I'm in my master's degree, I have to get licensed. So I'm working in my field to get the licensure hours. So I'm working while then going on for my PhD. So I kind of did a little bit of everything at once. I'm also a professor in my other life. So don't ask, we're not going to go there. And so I kind of did everything at once, working and going to school. And I will never go back. I'm done.
Now, after your degree is finished, I mean, you focused on being a life coach for people, correct? Before the two maids and a mop.
Yeah. So I did therapy, and that's. I actually worked for Florida State Prison for a while. That's a whole nother hour-long show I can tell you about gunning. But yeah. So I ended up leaving there, but I worked with a lot of mental health disorders, schizophrenia, antisocial personality disorders, and actually it wears on you. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of get burnout here and there. And I said, I really love my field. What can I do? And I ended up picking up a magazine, and I was reading it, and I heard about Grow Publications, where you can get certified as a life coach. And so that's what I did. So I kind of took the therapy and spinned it a little bit and did more coaching, because it's so upbeat, motivating, positive. You work with entrepreneurs. You work with people that want to do good, want to move up. And so that's sort of how I landed there.
Now, what are the subtitle of the book, Step-by-Step Strategies to Create Work-Life Balance. What are some of the strategies that you talk about in this book that are so important to creating this work-life balance? I
think as any person, any business owner, whoever you might be out there, you never have enough time, right? So I teach you how to find time, different things like spending more quality time, let's say with family. Let's say you know you need to spend time with the kids today for whatever reason, or you need to spend time with your spouse. If you give them dedicated time, you can actually give less time, and it's more quality time that they see is beneficial. So you have more time to do the things that you want to do, maybe the radio show, XYZ, whatever it is that you want to do. That's how you create more time. Instead of sitting there for 4 hours getting half with your child or half with your spouse while the other half is on the computer, half work, half phone, you're dividing your time. You're not really being very productive at all. So how to define your life roles and give them quality time. That's in the book, Learning How to Say No. I think so many times in life, we say yes to things because we don't want to hurt people. I mean, when you say yes to someone, you're a people pleaser. You instantly get someone happy, so you feel pleased right away. When you say no, the reward is in the payoff. When you don't have to do the extra task. So start saying no to things that you don't need to take on, and rid of toxic people.
Yeah, it's tough to say no. It's definitely one of my flaws is I try to do too much, and you end up spending time that could be invested better elsewhere, whether it's in work or with your family.
Absolutely. And I think you would have the ability to grow your business so much more if you said no to the things around you, taking on extra. So many people take on different positions and leadership positions that they're just like, well, they asked me, okay. No, if it's going to take up more of your time away from your business that you're trying to grow, that might not be a good business decision. Thank the person for the opportunity, and maybe even give them another suggestion of another person, but don't take that on yourself.
Yeah, and I have to commend you because I've grown through the business and come up now. I'm in the radio show, but I've done this. I don't have a wife and children, so I mean you've done a lot of stuff with a spouse and 2 children. If I had that, I don't know if I would have gotten to this level because it would have distracted me. I mean, what are some of the ways that you were able to kind of work around those life obstacles?
Definitely giving that quality time so I don't feel so guilty, and also realizing, and this isn't selfish, it comes across selfish, but it's my life too. The happier I am and the more fulfilled that I am in life doing things I want to do, I can better provide for my family, right? My family sees me happier. Before, when I was operating under collegiate cleaning, I wasn't very happy. I was coming home sad. I don't have time for that. Mom just wants to lay down, whatever. So, when I give to myself, and I feel good myself, exercising, eating right, running my business, having a thriving company, I feel great. And I share that greatness with my children and as well as my husband. So.
Well, I got to commend you on that because that's definitely a weakness of mine. I spend so much time, focusing on my business that I kind of let the personal life of mine go. So maybe I need to sit down and talk with you a little bit more and get some of these tips and definitely, excuse me, get some of the tips from the book. Now, The Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment. Can I get some benefits as a male reading this too?
Actually, the absolute best review, from my opinion, I've had some great reviews on the book, but one of the best ones was by a guy, and he said, I wish it didn't say woman on the front because I think guys need to read this book. So yes, I think you could get some benefit. And then too, really quickly, going back to the toxic people, I think it's very important that men and women sit down and list out some of the very close people in their life, and if there's people that are using you, that are negative Nancy, you need to either set boundaries or you need to rid of these people altogether. Kindness does not equal doormat, so if you're a kind person, make sure that people aren't mistaking you for a doormat.
Now, your book is just pretty much completed. Now, you're having a book launch coming up. Tell us about that.
I do. So I have a few of them coming up, but the initial one is at the Barnes & Noble in Carrollwood on March 16th, which is a Monday at 6 o'clock. And so we'll have some free goodies, and we'll have the book, and I think it's going to be a pretty good turnout. So I'd love to see you guys there.
Okay, and it was when again, March
16th.
At what time?
At 6 o'clock on a Monday. Yep, 6 p.m.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, all right, going ahead and here to a bottom of the hour break, but if you're just tuning in, you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Coming back from the break, we're going to be hearing from Malcolm Tennant, who was supposed to chime in yesterday, but I kind of forgot about us. So hopefully he remembers today. If you're listening to Malcolm, go ahead and give me a call. But he's a regular contributor to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni. He's also the Chief Operating Officer for Access Reverse Mortgage, where you can get a reverse mortgage, and he's also on this show a lot talking about some of the common myths in the reverse mortgage marketplace. So we'll be getting an update from him, very accomplished reverse mortgage specialist. And again, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni. Take a moment to direct you over to my website, TampaBayRadio.com. And please find me on all the social networking sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show. And on Twitter, my handle, Jamie_Meloni. We'll be back in a moment on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni.
VVA is a medical condition impacting millions of postmenopausal women each year. Symptoms include vaginal discomfort and painful intercourse. If you're a postmenopausal woman between the ages of 40 and 75 and one of these symptoms affects your sexual activity, the Rejoice trial may be right for you. Local doctors are enrolling participants into this research study to evaluate an investigational medication. Interested? Call 1-800-70-REJOICE. That's 1-800-707-3564 or visit rejoicetrial.com for more information or to see if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
Call now, 800-908-0586, 800-908-0586.
Office space isn't something you think about until you need it. Then it's all you think about. Leases, locations, logistics. Every detail takes you away from running your business. But Regis makes it easy. With one call, you can get furnished offices and support staff wherever and for however long you need them. From short-term to long-term. All on your terms. So let Regis take the hassle and expense out of setting up your office so you can focus on your business. Regis, the new way to work. Call 1-800-OFFICES now.
A long weekend is just an excuse to get a long way from boring, especially in a John Deere Gator. The Gator RSX 850i with speeds up to 53 miles per hour makes every journey exciting. And the Gator XUV 825i has a 1,400-pound payload to haul your gear. Visit your John Deere dealer. Go Gator.
For 1,000 possibilities, visit EvergladesFarmEquipment.com or MyJohnDeereDealer.com.
This report is brought to you by iHeartMedia.
Looking for a way to increase your business? Ever thought about advertising on radio? iHeartMedia can customize a campaign to meet your specific needs. Call 844-BUY-RADIO. That's 844-BUY-RADIO. Or go to iHeartMedia.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, eastbound Courtney Campbell Causeway. Between the bridge and Rocky Point Drive, you'll see some slow traffic due to an accident blocking up the left lane of traffic past the boat ramp. Also westbound along the Selman Crosstown Expressway this morning. Slow delays between I-75 and the 78th Street Toll Plaza. 3 vehicles involved in an accident in this area. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Winds, Weather Center forecast. We'll see cloudy skies today. Rain chance at 20% for some isolated showers to pop up. The high today, the warmer day of the week in the low 70s, and tonight's low down to 60 degrees. Impact Radio 1250 Winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome once again to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Take a moment to direct you over to my website, TampaBayRadio.com, where you can find all of my past shows as well as the Jamie Meloni Real Estate shows, because I used to be the host of that show, which aired Mondays at noon, but no longer. You're going to hear me Mondays through Fridays here on 1250 WHNZ at 8 a.m. every single morning. Going ahead and take a call here from my contributor, Malcolm Tennant, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Access Reverse Mortgage, and since 2005 has overseen the funding of more than 1,000 reverse mortgages. He's a member of the Pinellas Realtor Organization, the Financial Planners Association, and Florida Association of Mortgage Professionals, and he's also an ordained deacon and a big brother since the age of 18. Malcolm, how are you doing today?
Just wonderful, Jamie. How are you today?
Doing good. Good to hear from you today, man. I thought something happened to you yesterday.
I apologize for that. My battery was dead, and my alarm didn't go off on my phone. I do apologize.
Not a problem. Malcolm, so what's going on in the reverse mortgage industry? I know you got some big changes coming up that you wanted to get out to the market.
Yeah. I wanted to comment on something else. So just for a minute, hearing you and the other Jamie speak on the radio this morning about entrepreneurship and going into your own business and the acronym for FEAR, it's just so true what you're saying, that so many people I know that have had opportunities to go into business. I've helped a lot of people go into business over the years, and it's so rewarding. I mean, it's not always successful, but we're blessed to live in a country that even the worst failure is never going to go hungry. God provides, I believe, and people avoid going into business when opportunities are there, just for what you were saying, that the whole thing about fear, and it's the best life, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you can't be afraid of failure either, because you're going to learn so much more from your failures than your successes as well, and your other opportunities always spring off of the failures as well. Absolutely.
So I didn't really understand the direction of your show before it started, and I really like what you're doing. People need to be encouraged to take advantage of what we have in this country, the spirit of free enterprise.
Yeah, appreciate it very much, Malcolm.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, and on the reverse mortgage subject, there are changes coming March 2nd. Overall, the changes are going to be positive. They're going to strengthen the program. They're going to get some of the part-timers out of the industry. Some of the higher-pressure people, I think, will go away now, which will be good. But for most people, it's just going to be a little bit more documentation involved. Won't impact things too much. But there's a certain percentage of our clientele that today can qualify with virtually everybody qualifies today. There's a certain percentage of people that will be eligible for less money, or some people won't qualify at all, particularly people who have had recent credit issues, which with the housing situation we went through, that there's a fair number of people in that situation. So what I really am encouraging people to do is, if anybody has any thought of a reverse mortgage even in the next year or so, just give us a call in the next week and let us run through if their situation might be impacted by the March 2nd changes. If somebody is in that boat, we can get them grandfathered in now, but time is short. We really have to get started by about the middle of the month. I look forward. I guess it's next Thursday. I'm going to be on the show, and we can talk in a little more detail about it. But
yeah, we'll go through a complete interview with you next Thursday, talking about the reverse mortgage and stuff. But definitely, you got a call to action here. Big changes coming down on March 2nd. So people that are in that space thinking about getting a reverse mortgage, they definitely need to contact you ASAP. Correct?
Yeah. Time is short, and what's going to happen is all the things we have to go through to get grandfathered, those channels are going to get really backlogged very quickly. So, I'd encourage people to call me. Can I give my phone number?
No, absolutely. Go right ahead.
Yeah, we're in Pinellas at 727-347-0305.
Okay, and your website, accessreversemortgage.com, correct?
AccessReverseMortgage.com will work too. That's right.
Sounds like a plan. Well, Malcolm, I'll get you up on the show recap as well, and also people can always reach out to me, Jamie at TampaBayRadio.com, and I'll put them right in touch with you. Malcolm, thank you very much for the call in this morning, and we'll talk to you again soon later on this week.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Malcolm. All right, we're going to go back over to our guest today, Dr. Jamie Kalaga, who is the author of The Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment. And you talk a lot about the entrepreneurial roller coaster. Let's talk more about that.
Okay, so I was actually at an entrepreneurs organization, they call it EO, event a couple weeks ago. And General Carl Horst was speaking. He was the keynote speaker there. And I'm listening to him, and he starts talking about hiring and firing employees and dealing with employees. And he said, there's two things when it comes to employees that you need to do. You either energize them or you euthanize them. And so the crowd goes roaring, and it was something that probably stuck with everybody. It definitely stuck with me. But then I thought, as an entrepreneur, and not only dealing with, when you're dealing with employees, energize and euthanize, but also every aspect of your business. So I said, you know what, I'm going to steal this from him. And I'm going to say the entrepreneurial roller coaster consists of 3 E's: energize, euthanize, and everything else. So The energize is, being up and down so much, having such high highs and such low lows. It is draining on a business owner. So to really focus on energizing yourself, they say research actually suggests that 90% of serotonin is made in your gut. Mm-hmm. So serotonin is what makes you happy. Mm-hmm. So if you're eating processed foods and taking antibiotics and just gross foods, the release of the serotonin is much harder and or less likely to distribute through your body, and so you feel that dip in your mood. So if you want to energize yourself, you need to eat well, you need to exercise, you need to do these things. I always tell people, at your highest highs, write down all your successes, write down things that are great about the business. Talk about your passion maybe in a journal, so that way when you go through the dip as an entrepreneur, energize yourself by rereading your successes and by rereading your passion and why you've even began. And as nutty as that sounds, when you are at your lowest low, that will be the one thing that will energize you.
Yeah, I'm going to interject there. I mean, I can't understate the importance of exercise. It's something I don't do regularly, but yeah, there is definitely a clear and discernible difference when you have a regular exercise routine. I mean, it clears your mind. It makes you think clearer. I go through phases in my life. I've always said my weight's been like a roller coaster. I go up and down as I kind of go through these phases. But when I'm in much better shape and stuff, I'm much more focused on what I'm doing, and I'm also a lot less moody. I mean, that is a big difference I notice when I'm exercising regularly. So, and it's going to obviously carry over into business success as well.
Absolutely, it does. And every client that enters my office, one of their goals every week is so many days per week workout, 3 out of 7. And mind you, everyone out there, guys and girls, it doesn't mean you go to the gym and you have to spend 60 to 90 minutes at the gym. If you download an app on your phone and you can do a 10-minute power workout, that's better than nothing. So hands down, that's the way you energize. Okay, then there's euthanize. So euthanize, get rid of. Mm-hmm. So that's getting rid of the toxic people, the people that are draining, the negative people that might say horrible things about your business, whatever it might be, your negative mindsets that you have, the lack of confidence, that's the crud that you need to, I don't know what I can and can't say. That's the stuff that you need to kick to the curb, because that, by saying that you're not going to be successful, or by having the lack of confidence, which will deter you from taking leaps, that is what is going to ruin your business ultimately. So to really euthanize those types of thoughts. And then there's everything else. And so if you have something, a decision in front of you, that you don't know if you should euthanize it or you don't know if you should energize it, you put it in the everything else category, and you take a moment to do what I say: retreat, rethink, react. So retreat from it, walk away from the decision, rethink about it, write the pros and cons out, and then come to a decision. One of the worst things that can hurt you in business is impulsive decision making, or decision making in a crisis mode. So to take a moment to step back and rethink about things, and then give yourself a timeline. Hey, I'm going to make a decision by this day, and then move forward with it.
Why do you think people don't achieve their goals? I mean, so many people start off with good intentions, but a month down the road, they've given up or they've failed. I mean, why don't people achieve their goals, in your opinion?
There's a couple reasons. One is fear is great at making excuses. So suddenly you're no longer working out at the gym like you were all of January because you don't have time, or you have that extra project on your plate. So you find every excuse in the book to not come through. And then also, a lot of people don't set SMART goals. So they say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Well, you can't lose 50 pounds in 2 months. Or, no, you can't go to the gym 7 days a week because you don't have time. So SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So a specific goal that is measurable, but it also has to be realistic for your life. Don't sit there and compare yourself to other people. Well, this guy has his own radio show and does real estate and hits the gym and does, wow, I guess I could do that too. If you can't for your life, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Compare yourself to yourself, be realistic, and you will be able to be a success.
Yeah, I think that's an important point you just made there. Don't allow your competition to scare you away. Right. I mean, you definitely want to try to be around people of superior successes and statures. I think that helps elevate you, but
Absolutely.
don't let that scare you out of the space. I see that happen all the time, especially in the real estate business. New agents come in and they're always intimidated by the top agents in the office. Me, when I came in, I went right to the top agents. I said, give me all the extra business you can't handle, the buyer leads, things of that nature, and get that relationship. But so many agents, they just, the slightest little pushback on them and they run away, and I'm sure that happens in so many businesses.
It does, and you hit on something pretty important, is that in business, I always think that you should network with the people that, I don't want to say above you, but I'm going to use that term for here, so at least 1 or 2 levels above you, because those people can give you more knowledge. They've been there, they've stepped in the puddle, they can teach you, educate you, provide you with opportunities, so you should. But at the same time, don't be blurred thinking, wow, look at all the cars they have and the homes that they have, and look how successful they are, and I just have this. No, they worked from where you are to get up to where they're at. You're on your way there. And also, in order to not be so blinded by these people that you think are above you, be grateful every day. I think it's so important every day at the end of the day to reflect on 3 things that you are grateful for in your own personal life, and stay in a very grateful place as you work your way up.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to the people that are at the elevated levels of success. I mean, take a moment to give back to the people that are coming to you for, guidance, and don't always be looking to get something back from them. I mean, part of why I'm doing this radio show is to give back to the community. I mean, I've got, a sustainable business in real estate. I didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
This is just to give back to the community and network with the influential people around. But, take a moment to give back to somebody who's struggling a little bit. Just sit down with them for 30 minutes and tell them your story. You'd be surprised what just opening up to somebody does for that person, because there were a few people throughout my career that took a moment, and some more than others, to kind of guide me, and just for them to sit down and talk to me, it just motivated me so much. So when you're in a position of stature, don't forget about that that side of yourself.
Absolutely. And actually in the book there's I think there's a chapter called like defining your story or something like that, and I talk about the way that you need to tell your life story, not to tell it as a pity party, et cetera, et cetera. But at one point I explain that as you're telling your story and you're giving back to other people, like, realize that you have the ability to shape other people's lives. Like, there are people that I've helped along the way, or for example, the people that you're helping right now tell their story, right? I could get a client from this, or I could learn something from you that takes my business to a whole new level. You've in some way changed the course of the direction I'm going. And so I think it's important for people high up to recognize how much power you do have in helping people and changing their life story.
Yeah, very good point. Got to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, we're going to finish up talking with Dr. Jamie Kalaga, who's in studio today, author of The Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Meloni of the Jamie Meloni Real Estate Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING.
iMortgage Tampa appreciates and supports all veterans and their families. And as a thank you for your service, they have some unique products specifically for veterans. These programs include 100% cash-out loans, renovation loans, and also a VA interest rate reduction loan. Please call them today at 813-523-4908. Again, that's 813-523-4908. Or online, search for iMortgage Tampa. Tampa. iMortgage NMLS 174457. Equal housing opportunity lender. Programs and eligibility subject to programs and guidelines. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566.
She didn't just visit the sick and poor. She moved in with them because they needed help. Mother Teresa couldn't do it all, but she gave her all. Compassion. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, stop and go traffic this morning, northbound 275 between the Howard Franklin Bridge to about Lois Avenue. Southbound 275 delays between Fletcher Avenue and Sly Avenue this morning. Also, westbound all along the Leroy Selman Crosstown Expressway. An earlier accident, 3 vehicles involved in this wreck right past the old 78th Street toll plaza. You may want to use the upper deck or Adamo Drive as an alternate. If you see traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Mostly cloudy for the day, a 20% chance of rain with a high of 71. Then tonight, the clouds move in. The rain chances go up 100% chance after midnight with a low of 60. Tomorrow, the skies will start to clear out in the afternoon. We'll see a high of 67.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. You can catch all of my past shows over at TampaBayRadio.com, and if you're interested in coming in and making an appearance on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, I invite all business owners and entrepreneurs to send me an email, jamie@TampaBayRadio.com. Currently talking to Dr. Jamie Kalaga, author of The Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment, about step-by-step strategies to create work-life balance and, the kind of the path of entrepreneurship. Jamie, what is, we hear so much about hard work and luck. I mean, what is your take on luck versus hard work?
Okay, so hard work is when you have been busting your bottom day after day, like all us entrepreneurs do, and luck is winning the lotto. So I guess I can say that I'm a hard worker because I haven't won the lotto. So, but the reality is that luck runs out. And hard work is something that you've earned, so it doesn't run out. So when you have the perception, and catch yourself when you're talking to. So let's say you got promoted, or you were in the right place at the right time, and someone offered you a great opportunity. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Well, no, you're not lucky. You've actually worked for it. Maybe where you were at the right place, you've actually worked to be at that specific meeting. Or you got promoted not because out of luck, you were promoted because you've been working every day and you haven't been late and you've done top performance on these projects. So be very cautious in the way that you talk to yourself, because you actually decrease your confidence when you think that you're lucky, because luck runs out. You didn't work for it. It's just something that just happened. There's no confidence behind it. But when you've worked hard for something, your confidence thrives because you realize, I did this. I did every little step along the way. So it's really important for everyone out there to start perceiving yourself as a hard worker as opposed to someone that's being lucky.
Yeah, that's something that, even to this day, I kind of, go back and forth on. Did I work hard or did I get lucky? Because there's obviously a few points in my career where I got lucky. Mm-hmm. I had the right relationship, or I met somebody, or somebody just did something for me that opened up a whole, shebang of things that I could play off of. And part of me says, no, I worked hard. But yeah. you talk about something known as the imposter syndrome. Yes. Elaborate on this. Okay, so the imposter syndrome is where people do not internalize their accomplishments, and a lot of men and a lot of women go through this, where it sounds crazy, but you actually think that you are deceiving everybody. And so I can actually relate myself, because going through like my PhD, I got my PhD, you almost think like you're fooling people. And then when I look back, I'm like, did I fool 3 universities?
an IRB board? Am I fooling society? Am I fooling all these clients? No, I'm not deceiving and fooling them. I've actually worked for this. I'm an expert in my field. But a lot of people think that, they're going to be found out, that they're deceiving, that they've just made the cut, they've just gotten through. And so that's what imposter syndrome is that you're unable to internalize everything that you've worked for, all of your successes. And I think it's very detrimental because if you can't internalize your successes, you lack the confidence to take bigger leaps in life because, well, I can't take that leap because that guy, man, he'll figure me out. And so you're kind of withholding, and you're almost living outside of your value system because you feel like you're deceiving people. So to take that step back and really start to build your confidence and look at what you did to be successful.
Where is the line, though, between somebody who is just grandiose and always talking about themselves and versus promoting yourself properly? Do you have any input on that? The guy who's bragging too much and always, because we know everybody's favorite topic is ourselves, right. So let's be honest. But I mean, how do you draw that line, would you say?
I think it goes back to your ego is not your amigo. So if you find yourself always beefing yourself up and making yourself bigger than reality, you need to tone it down a little bit. And also I think it's important that while you're talking about yourself, that you're also thanking the people that did support you. Everyone out there, you did not do it by yourself. I did not do it by myself. Yes, I took every test by myself to get my PhD. Yes, I wrote every word in that book. But along the way, there were supporters, there were mentors, there was someone there to help you. So make sure that you're acknowledging the supports along the way. And then as you don't have to sit there and just talk about yourself. You can be present and people know who you are and what you do in this situation, but at the same time you're educating and helping other people. So that's a great way to talk about your successes as well, as opposed to saying me.
Yeah, and my take on it is if you have to constantly talk about your accomplishments and brag, you're probably in a little bit trying to convince yourself of your own accomplishments. There are some simple things you can do to elevate your stature with, not having to say a whole lot. Simply saying, I'm an author of a book, that's all you got to say. Yes. That right there creates a level of expertise. I don't, and I joke all the time, you may, give this to people, they're not going to read it necessarily, but the fact that you have a book on the topic automatically gives you credibility. Things like doing a radio show, not even a full radio show, just being a contributor to a radio show is a way to elevate your stature and give yourself the credibility that you don't necessarily have to go brag about. Oh, I've done this, I've sold this, I created this, I have this much money. So I think that's my take on that.
Absolutely. I think the things that you choose to do, the things, and that's another importance in saying no to things too. Because you are working for your credibility in every yes that you take on. So yes, I'll come into the radio show. Great. Credibility, one good positive point you would hope for. But, when you're putting yourself out in things that might be controversial too, you could hurt your credibility. So it's very important. And again, you don't have to say anything. I'm here. People know my credibility. You see my book, you know my credibility. I don't have to sit there and brag. And I think that's the word. Mm-hmm. Brag about it.
Now, you're also a contributor to some other media outlets as well. Talk a little bit about some of your other appearances that you do.
Okay, so then there's a national talk show called Daytime, and so I air on there. I talk a lot about goal setting. We did Clarity in the New Year. The issue with Robin Williams came up on depression, so we talked a little bit about that. And then I'm the mental health expert for Bay News 9, so I do a lot of anything that the school shootings and things like that come on. I go there and talk about that. And then the Superwoman workshops, I do, that's just like promoting women and promoting the book and things like that and educating them. So
workshops, you have any upcoming events for that?
Actually, I've postponed the Superwoman workshops right now because the book is doing well. So I'm going to kind of do a little book signing author tour coming up. So we're doing, we have the few here in Tampa and South Florida, and hopefully we hit up Atlanta and Chicago soon. So we'll see.
Oh, wow. And go ahead and plug that book launch time and location again real quick.
Okay, awesome. It's at Barnes & Noble in Carrollwood on March 16th, which is a Monday at 6 o'clock p.m.
Very nice. And you're also available for a speaker, and you're also a personal life coach as well. So people that are listening to you and that have been inspired today to elevate themselves to the next level can reach out to you as well, too. Yep. Website and contact information.
Mindfulrehab.com, MINDFUL rehab.com. Phone number 727-479-8891. Everything's on the website.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jamie Kalaga. Excellent interview today, and author of Superwoman's Guide to Super Fulfillment. Jamie, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. If you're just tuning in, you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. You can catch a show recap of the interview over at my website, TampaBayRadio.com, and I will see everybody back in here tomorrow at 8 a.m. on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni. Have a great day, everybody.